and how it is supported in a production environment VR. So on my right, your left, is the acting performance team of the Vbunny Ghost Show. And on this side, we've got the wizard team, okay? Literally the magic section. They built all the character design to support the amazing acting and performance that brings everything to life. So we're going to be talking about with both of these teams, okay? All right, so let's talk with pre-production. Before you even get to the video, which is the end product, what we all love to watch on the channel, how do we even begin with pre-production? Tell us about how you do pre-production with your skill sets and supporting the actors. So let's start with the actors first. Go for it.
Oh, what you want to start with?
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you Hambone.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be best to do this and then that, because a lot of that really starts with the writing. So in our pre-production, we are taking raw concepts from, I guess, strategies that we see on YouTube and applying it to our stories. So we'll be using different tools for creating ideas. We start with thumbnails, we start with raw concepts and progression formats. Basically, a story arc that will lend itself to YouTube to be as successful as possible. And then we create from that point. After the story is written and our writing team has kind of gone through that, I toss it over to Gearbell, and Gearbell designs all of this from the ground up. And do you want to explain a little bit about what that process looks like for you?
So basically the start of the week would begin with, he gives me a script, and then he would show that it does this place, these people, does this thing. And then I'd say, well, we don't have that, so how about we use a gorilla instead, or just some replacement. And it actually gets kind of fun doing that, because we just get to duct tape things together. But he'd start with the script, and I'd break it down into, this is the location. I build the location. These are the characters. I get them all ready to go with their costumes or their superpowers or whatever it is that the story calls for, and prep it up. So all they have to do is show up on the day of the shoot, and everything is ready to go.
And there is a lot of, between especially me and Gearbell, there is a lot of collaboration that happens with designing characters as well, especially when it comes to our original characters. I think that there's a lot of brands that we utilize in our content that's like third-party, trends, things like that, obvious things that I think anyone could kind of guess. But then we talk about things like the algorithm. The algorithm in our show is this, how would you say it, the ruler of the internet character that basically is this overarching character for the whole show. And there's a lot of conversation between me and Gearbell going back and forth to figure out how we design this character, and a lot of this came from Gearbell's imagination and ideas as well, and then the collaboration effort to kind of pull this together. And so we have new characters that are coming out soon. We're working on some right now and pitching them over to our main cast. Gamer will be playing one soon enough. We won't say anything more about that yet, but we take a lot of time to put the thought and efforts into what it is that we're trying to create for the show, because everyone in the show has a specific role. Like if we have a wizard, that wizard is going to be taking care of all of the magical aspects. If we have an alien, anytime Vbunny goes on an adventure in space, that alien is going to be leading the way. If we have a mermaid, that mermaid is going to become the catalyst for that story that Vbunny goes into, where she is under the sea and doing this and doing that. And then we kind of throw all that over to them for the filming day, and then VB takes over. And VB actually leads our full cast. So I lead our team leads. I lead our writing team, editing team, our production team, but VB handles the cast directly. And what's that process for you once it does get into your hands?
So Hambun will do the writing. I sometimes will help with the writing. I'm not a great writer, but I like to go in and think of characters that I would personally love to interact with. And so then we add those characters in. As soon as script is done, it gets handed to me, and then I see, okay, we need my Leonard, for example, or we need, this evil man, or maybe we need this girl. And so then I look at my available cast, I look at their schedules, their calendars, and then I kind of place them where I need them. And then if, say, I did this with Gamer the other day, I was like, I want you to sound burly and manly and like super and so then we start working on voices. We do a lot of improv classes where lately we've been talking a lot about body language, so we'll be completely silent and we'll only do skits with our bodies. That way we can learn how to tell stories that way. But really it just goes into, I know my cast, I know what they're capable of voice wise, and so I just start to place them where I need them. Or if it's a completely different character that we haven't used yet, then we'll start to talk, okay, well, how would they sound? What's their backstory? How do we become invested into this character? Because the thing is, you can only fake it so much, right? Like, you have to be able to feel your character. You have to be able to tell your character's story without telling your character's story. You know what I mean? So on set, like, we have Strict Dad, who when I play V-Baby, when I play V-Baby, she has this foster dad who is completely evil and super mean to her. And so when we get into that character, Strict Dad is played by Gamer. And so that's when Gamer is able to really go in and create this backstory of who Strict Dad is. And so I'll let you kind of explain how you get into character from there.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to getting into the character and stuff like that, it's just kind of the biggest thing is understanding like a background for the character. So with like Strict Dad, we're still kind of developing his background story, but he's a trying father. He wants the best for his kid, but like he doesn't always know the best way to express it, and it comes out as just anger and stubbornness and pridefulness about like his rules and whatnot, which makes him almost seem like on the edge of just being a villain. Which, I mean, at times maybe he is the villain. Who knows? But yeah, and it's just understanding those characters. So when it comes to like the background of them, so when it comes to actually playing them, we can understand like, okay, this character is going to be kind of maybe slunched down because he's exhausted all the time as far as movement goes, and then as well as like how he talks. Like Strict Dad, he is almost always angry, so he's always talking in like an angered and annoyed voice all the time, and versus just like going off like, I don't know, like a script and just reading it without any emotion, because like the second you put emotion or even just like body language into it, which that's one thing that we're still working on doing better as a team, is implementing our body motion, because like that tells a lot, especially since we're in VR and we can just show that off so well with our movements and whatnot. So the biggest thing is just understanding the character, which pre-production does a great job at that, making sure we kind of understand it and get a script in hand, or not necessarily a script, but kind of an idea of what we're working with. So we'll get all the actors will grab that ahead of time and kind of look into it and be like, okay, reading this over, I understand where this is and where it needs to go, so I know how I need to act this. But another thing that with our kind of work that sometimes throws us through a loop is we need to maintain our composure and continue acting if random things just start to happen, which they do happen, and we just need to continue to act them out. Which honestly, sometimes it comes out to being a better ending, and like some videos, they'll just end completely differently than intended because just one random thing happens, and next thing you know, it's like, oh no, okay, this is how the video is going now.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna pivot really quick. We have a policy with our team where if something does happen, a mistake, even if someone crashes, we keep rolling. Like it's all part of the story. There was a part where Strict Dad came and he went up to V Baby and grabbed V Baby.
Oh, we got a question cooking right here in front of us.
favorite
Is that
thing.
a question? Or is that from coming from AKK? All right. No POW impressions because there is no impression to make. No one can do. No one can do. They could try to
POW!
do
You're
it.
right, she's one of a kind.
Period. It's essence. You could try essence.
How many different voices you can do in 20 seconds? I don't
You could
even
try
know.
essence. You nailed it. Okay.
I do see a question for Gearbell.
Yes.
It says, Gearbell, how did you get into creating, and do you have a specific style that you like to create, like future, fantasy, etc.?
So, I particularly enjoy the style of like Overwatch and Diablo. So those are the styles that I tend to go towards.
Yeah.
I prefer fantasy. I mean, antlers. How I got into creating, so there's two parts to that. I went to college for it, and he found me by accident, and I was like, hey, I see that you have a broken thing. Let me help you fix it. And then I think we were friends for like 2 years before I said, as a joke, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I worked for you? And then he just immediately jumped onto that.
I told Gearbell because it's so funny the timing of it too. I was like, Gearbell, you're the only person I would consider hiring full time, and we need you right now. Because I was literally thinking about this earlier that day, and then out of nowhere, Gearbell just messages me. I'm like, okay, you need to get on team right now. I don't care what we have to do. Get on. We need you. And it's been so amazing. It's been so amazing, guys.
That's awesome.
I'm Gearbell's biggest fan, if you guys can't tell, just to be honest.
Get in line. Get in line.
I really am.
One thing I want to say about like Gearbell, sorry, words are hard. Gearbell on the tail. Stop making fun of me. I'm sensitive. Anyways,
No one cares.
The video, they do. Anyways, the video you guys saw of us doing like the advertisement of looking for actors and stuff, like we spend a good like 20-30 minutes just in game talking about doing it and everything, and then Gearbell shows up and hangs out for a second, and she overhears the conversation, and she's just full frontal, just gets us on like, okay, let's do this, let's type this out and let's get this filmed, and in essentially like 10 minutes we had that video done and ready, just like right on the spot. She really just
So
pulled
fast.
us by our tails and was like, oh no, we're doing this.
I
Like out on
love
the
that.
floor, headset off.
Execution. Gearbell's like, you gonna talk about it? Or we gonna do
Yeah, she got
something
results.
about it?
Yeah.
Enough talking. Let's do. I love that. We have a. Hold on. I don't want to lose this question. I lost it. Did I? Ask it again, Kooks. Ask it again. No, let me check. I think I captured it. I got it. We have another question. I don't want to lose it. It's from Kooks. Kooks. It says, okay, actual question. Hambone.
Huh.
What do you? Yeah, Hambone. Yeah, you. Hambone. What do you find is the most challenging part of your workflow right now?
Me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually, no, 100% VB. It's no. Oh man, the hardest part of our workflow. The thing about. I guess this is a little bit more of a complex answer, so I'm really talking to probably just a couple of you in the audience, but inside of our workflow, we have certain sections. We have writing. Well, actually, even before writing, it's content strategy, and then it goes into writing, and then in the content strategy, we deal with the thumbnail, title, progression format. Then we choose the characters, location. Then we write with those limitations, and then after that, it goes into production. And me and Gearbell will take care of production and tag team that for the most part. Obviously, she will deal with more complex things. I do basic programming and editing inside of the game. And then it goes into the filming aspect, and then it goes into the editing aspect, and then it goes into release. The problem is that if the foundation of the video isn't set up proper, everything else falls apart and something gets bottlenecked down the line. If we don't write well or we don't film it well, editing has a much harder time, and it takes many more hours to actually complete a full video, which hurts the whole team overall. Over the past week and maybe 2 weeks, I've actually been like really hunkering down on this aspect where we're trying to lessen our workflow to be manageable. We actually got a whole video out, like literally from conception to release in 8 hours just yesterday, 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
And that was the first time we've ever been able to do it at that speed. So I'm super excited for where we're going. The bottlenecks are real, though. We're trying to constantly figure out how to simplify the workflow so that there is no bottleneck anywhere. And it's a constant challenge. And so a lot of the time, my attention rotates. And that also goes to manpower as well. Manpower is super, super important for our team. If, for example, we don't have a female voice actor, I can't write this video, which bottlenecks us for this concept, which means we have to bring in this person to do voice acting that may not have VR, but we're trying to write to this story. And so everything is interconnected like a web. And so all of it matters from the foundation up. I would say the hardest part about our workflow right now is getting everything to work together in a cohesive way that actually makes sense. And this is super important for where we want to go to 2025. Eventually, we want to literally turn Vbunny Go into a TV show, whether it's funded ourselves or we can seek out another third party to help us fund that. Our goal in the future is to end up on something like Netflix. And so we've tried a little bit of that. Digital Circus just got onto Netflix, which is amazing and super inspiring to me personally. And that's like, man, it's so possible for indie studios to reach that goal. I think that we're still quite a ways off. The really, really cool part about what we do, though, as a team is that inside of our workflow, inside of what we do, compared to a regular animation studio, we are doing things at a fraction of the budget. And so I'm really, really excited for the future, for what we're about to step into. I'm super excited to continue like building our workflow and getting these videos out quicker with better quality and better foundations. And so, yeah, I hope that answers the question, and I hope that helps give a little bit of clarity to like what I do behind the scenes as the creative director.
Mm-hmm. Really quickly,
It takes
I
a
know-
village, guys.
I know Waterfang's been asking this question over and over about Among Us VR. So we did a series called, it was the Among Us Take Your Child to Work Day. We wanted to continue that series. We just haven't, and I don't really see us doing it. So I loved that series. That was one of my favorite series to make. We actually worked with our community to make those series, and I loved the videos. However, I don't see us going in that direction as of right now. So just to answer that question. Thanks.
Nice. We have. I was jotting down the note. We have some questions. We have. We'll go with this one real quick, just to kind of change things up. Hambone.
Yeah, she's loud.
Yes, pal.
What
I got scared.
food did you
Sorry,
eat
you gotta say
today?
what the-
Mister is asking.
I actually had sushi today.
Oh.
Yep.
There you go,
Sushi with
mister. You
my
want to know
daughter.
What Hambone had? Oh, you want to know what Hambone ate? Touché. Nice. And then this question is for Gamer.
Yeah, what's
Red
up?
Red Bounty Hunter wants to know. Bad Gamer, what is your? I don't know if they mean this word, but we'll figure it out. Bad Gamer, what is your emphasis on voice acting? I've been practicing. Maybe interpret that as you will.
I think the biggest thing to consider, I guess, you don't always have to change your range of voice, but just putting inflections on your voice and how you speak can change and turn it into a different character and give you more range that way. For example, when we do Jax, it's pretty much just me, but I more elongate my words and exaggerate everything, almost how Vbunny described it to me when we should be behaving, because I'll watch it based on other characters. And one thing we've actually done in an improv practice to kind of learn on conveying emotions is watching some Charlie Chapman sketches. Yeah, to get an idea of like different exaggerated movements to kind of get us an idea of like, oh, okay, this is how I should act in this moment. Because if you just go in blind, you're not gonna know anything about like how a character like this or that is supposed to act. So having background information is a really important thing of like the type of character you're trying to portray.
Mm-hmm.
And what about with voice acting? Can you share a little bit about the voice acting that you've practiced, or that can you demonstrate for us?
So demonstrate. Demonstrate to everyone, please.
Yeah, so okay, don't hit me with the wand. Anyways,
Hit him
so
if
yeah,
he doesn't do it though. Hit him.
characters with some of the characters, there's definitely voice work that you need to do, and as far as like learning different pitches, I honestly just learned from watching stuff like anime that has a lot of variations in it, and then just kind of mimicking it. So like with Strict Dad and stuff, like I don't have the greatest low range, but even so, like I try to work best with my limitations. But my low range is not great, but I can easily go higher. And like with one of the characters, like one of the characters that we did for the your favorite one, the "Where is your mother?" At work I have to repeat that line so many times because my coworkers saw that video and they're like, "Whoa, is that you?" It is like, yeah, and it's just so every time now and then they'll be like, "Hey, do the 'Where's your mother' thing," and I'll just have to go like, "Where is your mother?" Or other stuff like that. But I mean, like the first voice that I really ever did, which actually spiraled everything myself, was Harry Manlegs got a clip of me doing my Sonic the Hedgehog impression. Yeah, Lynn's just said in the chat, Sonic, which is just like, "Sonic's the name, speed's my game. Just try and keep up." Which it's not exactly Sonic, but like just because of how Sonic portrayed it, you can tell it's Sonic. But Sonic these days has been getting lower and lower. They've been making that man go lower with his Sonic voice. Sonic has hit puberty.
Yeah.
I know, audible gasp, right?
I'm wondering, and for Gearbell, when you are helping support create the characters and the rigs, when you have really like open-ended, you have like, hey, you know what, can you think of a character? Like, what is your approach? What inspires you to, when you design a character, come up with the rigs, and or the intricacies of like blend shapes and how it's going to animate? Like, what are the things you think about when you're preparing
So when it comes to character design, I think of like them as reoccurring characters. So we needed a mermaid character, and I was thinking, what if instead of just another throwaway mermaid, we have a reoccurring character? So looking at all of the popular ones, I mean, Ariel, so basing it off of that. As for programming, that really depends on what Hambone usually asks for, but most of the programming for these characters, I try to get in like a template form. So if somebody's able to blast fire out of their hand, all I have to do is change the visual effect, and now it's water. So now we can use it for any other character that has like different kinds of bases. So it's pretty much character design, and programming depends on how reusable they can be. That's
I think
how
too,
I design a lot of it.
You really put a lot of thought into the story behind them as well, and like 90% of the time we're running with your ideas. I think that something I see from what you do is, as you're designing these characters and you are making these decisions on rigging or some of the newer characters that come in, and you're giving these suggestions, you're thinking about the backstory and how they really play into the whole story and what they could bring to the story as well. And that I think really matters in how you make those decisions. Not only that, but even for VB's avatar, VB is we've had a ton of amazing modelers work on VB's avatar inside, like her VTuber avatar, inside of Resonite, inside of, before that it was VR Chat, and so on. When we brought it to Gearbell, Gearbell was like, no, this ain't going to work. We're going to redo all of this. And at first it was really intimidating because I was like, okay, well, because I was imagining we would get to this point a year down the line. But when Gearbell brings in these characters, and especially into our content, there's a lot more that goes into a lot of these decisions I see in the style and how everything fits into that style, like cartoon. And maybe you could touch a little bit on that as like what makes the Vbunny Go style more cartoonish, and how do you make those decisions on when you do design something from scratch or re-rig something from scratch, like blend shapes and stuff? How do you factor all of that in to the cartoonish style?
So I found that old-time classic cartoons, they tend to over-exaggerate everything, and those have survived the test of time. So I figured sprinkling a little bit of that into the show would definitely give it its own unique thing, because those shows, to the more modern audience, they've never heard of them, so might as well bring it to their attention through our show. But yeah, like her original model was more anime based, so she had like a teeny tiny little mouth and like kind of stiff eyes. And then I'm looking at the thumbnails they have for the show, and it's like big and loud expressions, over exaggeration and everything. And so when he gave me the model, which was his first mistake, I was like, nope, we're going to change everything here. So I changed up the face, made the eyes more expressive, and I gave it to them. And the funny thing is, the shock of the change was enough where you guys were kind of hesitant at first. But now that you've seen more models that have that same exact popping expressions, you were like, yeah, we need to do more of this. So that was a funny thing to happen.
Yeah.
And that helps you a lot too, right, VB? When it comes to like,
it helps me to express. Because when Gearbell first showed me my avatar, I was like, oh my god, there's so much happening on my face right now. And so I was like, can we turn it down a little bit? And now, because I don't know if y'all seen our mermaid character, she's freaking amazing. And I'm like, I want that! Like, I want that! And Gearbell's like, I gave that to you! And I was like, I'm sorry, I want it now! Like, I want it! I see it! I want it! And it helps me so much because me IRL, I'm very expressive. I'm always constantly making a face to anything anybody says. My face does not hide my emotion. And so now with my new avatar, I'm able to actually express my emotion. Like, I roll my eyes actually a lot more than people realize, and I want my avatar to be able to roll her eyes. I'm constantly questioning what people say, and so I make like the question face. And so we're utilizing that on my avatar. I stick my tongue out a lot at people, and now I'm able to stick my tongue at Gamer more than I used to do.
I wish
so
she
just like
would
little
stop.
things like that. Little things like that. I'm able to actually express now, and so it just feels, again, we are able to connect with the character we're actually playing, and
it changes your personality too, right?
Yeah, especially as like V-Baby. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Changes my personality.
Yeah. Can we talk about, like, I want to get to you. I have one more question for Gearbell. Gearbell, what have you found are your favorite characters to create design when you like just get lost in the flow? Like, what are the favorite types of designs and characters for you?
Oh gosh, I kind of like them all. There isn't any specific one that I don't like. I've worked on hundreds of characters at this point. I can't think of like a singular one that I had them. Well, actually, no. The Sea Witch. I had fun with the Sea Witch.
Woo! I was waiting. I was hoping you would say the Sea Witch.
There's also two other characters that I did have a lot of fun with, but they are yet to be shown.
Why did you enjoy the Sea Witch so much? Like, compared to what was it about the Sea Witch?
just the Sea Witch is just fun.
Yeah.
It's just she's a menace.
What a lot of these studios are doing, and it's just incredible what I've seen this team put together, 100%. And I hope that in some way they can inspire you guys out there. It is so possible to, I think, really have this become a new form of entertainment with basically live animation. We already see that in VR in general, but I think that the possibilities in games like Rec Room and Resonite, where you can take that up a level to just make it something truly special.
I love it.
Thank you, pal. Sorry.
I feel like I have I love that. I feel like I have two questions to riff off of what you were saying, Hambone. One for Gamer, one for Garabelle. For Gamer, you were talking about how you prepare, we read the script, you think about the character. I wanted to ask you, like, what are other ways that you hone in your craft? What are some things that you do to just practice and keep honing in acting, from acting, performance to voice acting? Can you tell us a bit about that?
I think one of the biggest things and one of the most underrated things that just really helps me a lot is just being able to relate to other characters, like consuming other content. Like I was talking to VB the other day that I kind of want to start basing Strict Dad off of a character from Disenchantment, the father in there, because he is very strict and Henri King, but he also has some fun moments in there too. So I was wanting to incorporate him and use that as a reference, and then even completely change your whole pitch and tone of voice to do another character. You just need to think kind of outside the box, because that's the first thing everybody thinks of, but also think of just like how you phrase things, or like little things like a bit of shakiness in the voice can kind of portray a whole different character.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, there's a really
Okay,
good
so-
question for VB.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I don't. You saw the same one I did. Okay, VB. This is a good question. I think we're looking at the same one, me and Hambone. Okay, VB. This is from Rainbow Tater Tot. Rainbow Tater Tot wants to know.
They sound fun.
Vbun. Where do you think you'd be in life if you'd never, ever heard a Rec Room? Think about
I
that.
never
VB.
heard of a Rec
Think
Room.
about that, Veeps. Think about
Where
it.
would I
Go back.
be? Well, I used to work in casinos because I used to live in Vegas. I'd probably still be working in casinos. My dream at that time was I wanted to work as a labor and delivery nurse. So I probably would have pursued that.
I completely forgot
Okay.
about that. That's like hilarious to think about now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll answer one POW question. I'll answer one. You're asking.
Do it.
Yes,
Javel.
ask Pal all the questions, yeah.
Javel asks, POW, is there a story why your hair is blue? Yes. Once upon a time, I had a favorite color, and it's still my favorite color, and it's my hair color. The end. Simple decision. I like it. I want it. I buy. I get. I don't
I
wear
was really hoping it was
Um,
going to be something like I got cursed by the blueberry princess, or something like that. I was really hoping for something different. Just like, no, I just like blue. That's the answer.
We have a question for Gearbell. I love that. I just like blue. It's really simple. It's always my whole life. Blue. We have a question for Gearbell. I don't want to lose it. That's why I'm like, Gearbell, where'd it go? Where's the question? Oh, there it is. Gearbell. Okay, I know you're in like Rec Room like all the time. Based on all the time you've been in Rec Room, what's your favorite avatar item? This question is from Soul Drop. Soul...
The antlers.
Yup. Soul Drop.
Points to Faye Antlers.
Are you looking at Gearbell? They're wearing exactly
Wait,
what their favorite
which specific Faye Antlers? Which season? What season you got on? Those are the summer ones, right?
Wow.
Yes.
Yes!
The now season.
Yes.
The now
Perfect.
season. What's on my head season. What I'm wearing right now season. Period. Okay. Okay. We have
And we
another
just
question
left
from
summer.
Kooks. Kooks, I'm not sure who you're asking this to, so let's all anybody is open. The question is, what's the biggest difference between running a live VR event and a VR film shoot?
Oh.
Bathroom
I
breaks.
think. Bathroom.
It is a lot harder to take
Yeah,
a bathroom break
actually
during
true.
a live.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe
Okay,
you
there
could probably
go.
answer that the best, actually.
Oh yeah. Mm.
The difference between a live and a film
Mhm.
is I mean, we do this in film where there's no mistakes, but when you're live, everything
Yeah.
is raw. Every single thing. And it's also, for me, it's where I feel most connected to everybody. I started off as a streamer before we ever did YouTube, and
Mhm.
I love knowing everything I'm about to say, everything I'm about to do is just raw and authentic. There's nothing I can hide. And so when we do our lives, we did our last live for Smiling Critters, and I was actually feeling really sick. I told nobody for Hambone. But there was a moment in the live when I asked Hambone to turn on the fan because I really thought I was about to pass out, like on stream. I was so hot, I was not feeling well. And so in character, I asked him to go turn on the fan, but I was actually really asking him to go turn on the fan because I thought I was going to pass out. And in my head, I'm just like, I wonder what would happen if I actually passed out. Like, how would the stream go? You know, and it's to me, it's fun. It's fun. It's raw. I love live. I love live so much. Because, yeah, when you film, I mean, there's a lot of things you don't see because we cut it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Aww. Relatable. This is a question. The next one is Gearbell. Where do you get your inspiration from? Leave it open-ended.
Obstacles, I suppose. Kind of a
Ooh, I love that answer.
weird
Oh my
explanation, but so they'll tell me they need something and they have limitations of like time, or we can't use the color blue, but we need it to be blue, or just
God. Mhm.
it's the limitations that make it interesting for me.
The limitations, and then you're like, let me figure out a way around this or through this.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
gonna make it happen. Ooh, Carabelle. Okay, I love that. Okay, that is okay. Hambone. 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 I have a question here. How do you balance your IRL life and RR life?
Oh, I don't.
This is,
I'm just
this
kidding.
is from Rainbow Six.
That's
I'm like,
very tipped in one direction.
it's
Well, I think
Oh,
I
no.
think I've kind of accepted this fact that IRL and life in the virtual space, right? That's what the question is, like work life and IRL life. Everyone wants to have this perfect balance. I just fell through the chair. Right? Everyone wants this perfect balance, and that's what you think of like when you say, how do you balance your work life and your IRL life? But the thing is like this actually doesn't exist. Like newsflash to everyone out there, there is no balance. It's all fake. Don't listen to anybody who says that they have it balanced. What happens is, I really like what one of my old pastors said. She said that it's like a wheel instead. And as this wheel turns, there are different emphasis on that season of your life. So maybe there's a season where, like, I mean, for us, especially when we first started and I quit my job at the post office and we started doing this full time, and that was super scary. All of my time in 2020, 2021, going up to 2022, like all of my time focused on work, like on building this brand, on building everything that we're like. Part of the reason we're up here right now is because of that effort that we put in. And so that was a huge focus. And now that wheel is kind of turning again to where I'm trying to focus on, like, especially in this season, it's been like on myself, on like just me mentally, like mental health stuff, and just being good, secure in like my health in general. And so it's like this wheel turns and there's always something that you need to put an emphasis on. Maybe it's like if you have a family, there's a season where it's like, okay, you really need to focus on your kids right here. And then that wheel turns again and it's like, okay, now you really need to focus on, you know, this time over here, doing this or doing that. Whatever the case is, it's like I've kind of accepted the fact that there's different seasons that come, and being able to just give my all into that helps me not feel guilty when I'm not meeting the mark on everything else. And I think that that's a realistic way of looking at things, because everyone's focus kind of turns as life turns. You know, you might get sick, you might be in a place where money is a lot harder than it normally is, and then you have to put a focus on that. There's a lot of different challenges that come in life, and really allowing yourself to actually dive into that fully without the guilt of, oh, I can't get here, I can't get there, is I think personally a much healthier way of going about it. Because this balance is so, it means you're spread thin, and it's super, super hard. I mean, that balance is the goal, you know, it's obviously the goal, but at the same time, being okay with not being balanced and allowing things to rotate and asking for help when you need it. You know, Gearbell and guys, I want you to give it up for POW too, for just like hosting this whole thing, for like just absolutely amazing. She has been absolutely amazing. And
speaking of amazing,
yeah.
Hambone. Speaking of amazing, you know what time it is?
I do.
It's time for something amazing.
Yes, and it's kind of why I well, I will say this.
Yes.
For the I see you hurrying me up, baby. I get it.
Gotta show it.
So, guys, the future of Vbunny Go is super bright, and I'm super excited for the future. As this wheel sort of turns into this next season, we are doing some incredible things with our team. We talk about character design. We talk about, you know, acting in VR. We talk about all these different things and what that actually means for the future of Vbunny Go. But I also want to say that it doesn't just stop here. It starts with you guys. It starts with your videos and what you want to do. Everything that we're doing up here, you can do as well. And so with that being said, we have some surprises for you right now that I do want to show. So if you want to roll the video, something has just rolled into the neighborhood. It's going to be really good.
I love it.
Woo!
Yeah!
V-baby!
POW
Baby,
is
POW!
here!
Yeah, you guys
I
saw a
love
little
it.
bit of our histories. This is us in our childhood times, babyhood times. That's literally the babyhood. Okay, guys.
The babyhood. I love
The
it.
babyhood.
I'm so excited.
So I'm super excited for this. V Baby now has a friend, Baby POW.
Baby
And
POW.
we are super excited to do more videos in the future with both of them.
Mm-hmm. Tell us what adventures you want V Baby and Baby POW to go on, because now we can do anything. They could.
Yeah.
It's like the Rugrats, and I'm so excited. I can't wait. Could go on spooky adventures.
I'm gonna type that out so people.
You have to rescue pugs. Wonder says you have to rescue pugs. Rugrat vibes. That's what I was saying, Wonder. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
Climb Mount Everest.
Jeez. Yo, Gabriel's gonna hook us up
Boss
with that.
babies.
Boss.
Oh my gosh, babies join the mafia.
Ooh, Boss
We run the
Baby.
mafia.
Yeah. Underground mafia baby. Oh my goodness.
In our trikes.
I love that. Own a company.
Yes.
Just start a company. Just start a whole. We start a baby.
It's like the Men in Black,
Dry.
but baby edition.
Yeah.
Erase everybody's memories.
We baby and Baby POW go to Vegas. We go to Vegas.
We go to Vegas.
Oh my
That'd be
gosh,
hilarious.
The beach. Jump on top of an airplane. They want us to be stunt babies.
Oh, we should go to a pumpkin patch.
Ooh.
Freckles at pumpkin patch.
Oh, a pumpkin patch
That would
and
be
a haunted
adorable.
house.
Yes.
Oh, it's almost October.
Yep.
It's almost
They
Exactly.
should go on Skibbity Toilet.
Oh my goodness. Just
Please.
Yaman says, oh, the strict dad versus baby war.
Ready to take on 2 babies?
I already feel like I'm taking on 2, just you.
So now it'll be like 4.
Ah, great. Perfect.
You know, swing at the
I'm
ankles.
constantly climbing gamer as a baby. Constantly.
Oh my goodness. No way!
Yes.
Someone take a photo? What?
What?
Oh, my thing's not updating. No, this is not, okay. Focus. Wait, what time is it?
Something you
Ammo!
can watch.
The next thing, no!
Yes. Okay.
Oh, now go.
We talk about character design and all this stuff. We know that POW Baby is coming into new videos, but we have one more surprise for you that I think everyone here, especially if you're a big fan of Rec Room, have been here for a while, are going to love. Show the next tape.
I think the screen's broken.
Is this
You can't
Never
see.
mind, it's fine.
What is it?
No, it's fine.
I
I
can
was
see.
making a joke.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Is it Fortnite? Is it Fortnite? Yo, is this Fortnite?
This is the best time to announce. We wanted to share this with POW. POW's VTuber debut is coming in January 2025, and I am so excited to be able to share this one with you.
excited!
Yes.
The judge's like, what kind of movie? What in the Bat Bunny? What kind of movie? I'm crying. Oh my goodness.
POW has been working so hard towards this, guys. You have no idea. And oh my gosh. So we wanted to share this moment on our panel and partner with POW to let everyone know that she will be in a VTuber form come January 2025. So thank you guys so much for being at our panel. Thank you for everything. And we are super excited going into next year for both Viva Go and POW Jams. and especially their collaborations together in the future. So, woo!